TLC is this Sunday, and we have a lot to go over in this so far because there's a lot of new matches, a lot of matches that have been uh, it's interesting to say the least because we have a couple kickoff matches and segments. First off, what I didn't even know we were going to have for the kickoff is that Drew Gulak will present a Cruiserweight Championship edition of his PowerPoint presentation. Now, for those who have not watched 205 Live for a while since Enzo became champion, like I have, these have been the best segments on 205 Live. These have been the greatest parts of the show, there's no doubt in my mind, to where Gulak has been showing his way for a better 205 Live. And it's been amazing. It's been incredible. To the point where even Microsoft, or even PowerPoint themselves, even Microsoft Office was excited about this. And you rarely hear anything about them. Except, of course, how shit Excel is, but it's another story for another time. But regardless, these have been the most entertaining segments of 205 Live. Even though this isn't really a prediction, I do expect this to be interrupted. I don't know by who. Probably during the Cruiserweight Championship match. Because we could, I would rather have this happen during the match itself because we could have something to watch other than that match. But, it's what it is. It's going to be great. Next up on the kickoff, Sasha Banks will face Alicia Fox. Well, this match happened on Raw. Technically 2 weeks ago because Alicia and Sasha were part of a fatal 5-way to determine who would face Asuka. Emma won that. And then they faced a couple nights ago on Raw to where Alexa tapped out. To where she actually pushed an official. Now, we do know she has been fined. We don't know how much. We do know touching an official in WWE is a big no-no. And you will get reprimanded for that, regardless of who you are. But that led to this match. I don't know with this one. I really don't. Because on one hand, Sasha is on a winning streak. She needs to, she's actually been booked properly. When I say properly, I mean, it's weird to explain with Sasha because she's been a transitional champion. She's never defended any title successfully at all. Maybe in NXT. But as far as main roster is concerned, she's won the title, then lost it. She's won the title, then lost it. It's been more of this start and stop push with Sasha to where they don't really know what to do with her. So to see Sasha actually winning matches consistently is good for her. However, Alicia Fox has not been seen as often. So it's really weird. I will say, though, that Sasha wins. I will not be surprised if they give Fox the win, though. We'll see what happens from there. And now on to the main card, as we have Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. Now, counting the kickoff, we have 3 Cruiserweight Championship, well, not championship, but 3 Cruiserweight segments, which is rare. Because on Raw, maybe 1 or 2 since Enzo has been there. An Enzo segment and then a Cruiserweight segment, which is good for the division at least. It's no longer a piss break, even though it kind of is, given the state of the championship. But if this happened a couple months ago, I wouldn't believe it. Because the Cruiserweights have really been filler for the past couple months. And with Enzo as champion, they've been in the main event, which have made people leave Raw early. Which is, I understand why, but, it's good to see them in that main event spot to see what they can do. But unlike, like I said, if you have not watched 205 Live, you would not understand what this match is going. For the past few months, Kendrick and Gallagher have been feuding about Gallagher's, basically his gimmick. He's a old-timey British dude. And Kendrick has been mocking that for a long time. To where eventually Gallagher would attack, I believe, Cedric Alexander. It may have been Rich Swann. It may have been both. I don't remember exactly. To the point where he is now a bad guy. And that's the problem with this Cruiserweight division, is that you don't have enough Cruiserweights to actually define people as faces and heels and in-betweens and whatnot. To where we're, 7 months into the division at least? Maybe 7, maybe a year? And we've already turned Jack Gallagher heel. That has to be a problem. Because he was a gentleman. He was goody two-shoes, as good as you could be as a goody two-shoes. His shoes had no marks on them at all. He was that good of a goody two-shoes. But the fact is, he's now bad. He's now different, which is interesting, because if you've seen him recently, he's wrestled in a suit, or part of a suit, which you have not seen that with him for maybe during a duel of some sort or something like that. But with that being said, I like this edge of Gallagher. Or Gallagher, whatever. But the point is, this has been going on for a while now. Swann and Alexander are a team again. And this match is going on, I believe, the main card, unless this changes at all, which I don't think it will. But, with that being said, with these new groups of teams, I feel like Kendrick and Gallagher need to win this match to make sure that they're not a joke, to be honest. But I would not be surprised, again, if Swann and Alexander win. Next up, we have a match that many people did not have in their mind. For years, we have talked about what would happen if we actually had Sister Abigail. Would it be a woman? Obviously, people would think it would be a woman, and it would be someone. We do not know who. Some people have even suggested Paige, since she was on the comeback trail, but that would kind of be weird, seeing her past history, and now all of a sudden is the remaining corpse of Sister Abigail. From what we have seen of Sister Abigail, however, we have seen that she has been dead. Last time we heard anything about Sister Abigail, Randy Orton put a spike into, not even a spike, a crucifix, which you rarely see, into the burned building of where Sister Abigail's corpse was. To where now we have Sister Abigail being Bray Wyatt, somewhat of a spiritual vessel, if you will. To where Sister Abigail is in control of Bray Wyatt. It is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of shit. But you see this, and it's interesting. It really is interesting. Because this is a side of Sister Abigail I never thought would happen. And now it is the demon versus Sister Abigail. In a million years, I would have never believed this match would happen. And of course, we saw a little bit of the demon a couple nights ago on Raw, kind of transitioned from regular Finn to somewhat of a Halloween demon, kind of. At least the paint was pretty cool. But you went from Finn to demon to Finn to demon, and it was interesting. This is something they should have done from the beginning to make this actually interesting that people would like. Nonetheless, though, I feel like if Sister Abigail loses, then the point of bringing her back, you shouldn't have done it in the first place, if this was to happen. But with that being said, we'll take a quick break, and we'll talk about the main event, because that has changed as well.